Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to see the game between Fide master Chukavin Kirill and Praggnanandha. This is from round 2 of Chess Olympiad. So let's start. White played e4, Praggnanandha played c5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, cd4, knight d4, knight f6, knight c3, and here Praggnanandha played the move d6. So this is trying to transpose into the classical Sicilian. If white plays moves like bishop g5 or bishop e3, the game transposes to the classical Sicilian. Here black had the option to play e5 and transpose to Sveshnikov Sicilian. So that's why I like this move order with knight c6. So it's quite unpredictable what black is going to play ahead. Okay, knight c3, d6, and white chose the g3 setup. This is of course not the main line, and for black it's very easy. Now we can transpose to some dragon structure with g6. The idea is to simply develop bishop on g7. So white played knight de2, bishop g7, bishop g2, and black played bishop d7. Now this is a very important moment, and this is nice waiting move. So black is not committing the castling. So black is not castling here. Bishop d7 has some point. Now in the game white played h3, and the point behind bishop d7 can be understood with the move of queen c8, and now white cannot castle as h3 pawn is hanging. Now why this h3 move is important? Without h3 white cannot develop his bishop to this good square, that is e3, because of knight g4. So at some moment he has to play h3. So after h3 black played queen c8, and now white's castling is not possible. White played knight f4, and here Praggnanandha played very nice move. I will recommend viewers to pause the video and try to find the good move here for black. Okay, so black played the move h5. So again this is a very nice idea. So what is the point of h5? In case white castles, in the game white played knight fd5, but in case white castles, now the h7 square is vacated and black can maneuver his knight to the g5 square, from where it will start attacking the h3 and f3 kind of weak squares. And if white plays bishop e3 here, then we are good to go with the move knight g5, and if he tries to stop knight g5 with h4, then we can also play the move of g5, and black is attacking in this position. So this was a very nice idea by Praggnanandha. In the game white played knight fd5, black took, white took, and b5. Again this is a very important move. Now of course black has to take some active plan, and on the king side white is kind of preventing black's ideas. So b5 is very nice move, and black is trying to get the queenside expansion, and with the help of g7 bishop it can prove to be very dangerous. So white plays c3, trying to blunt the g7 bishop, and black castled. Bishop g5, e7 pawn is attacked, so rook e8, and white plays king f1. Now see how important is this battery on the h3 pawn. White cannot castle at all, and so rook cannot be activated. So white is playing king f1. Maybe his idea is to go king g1, king h2, and then move his rook, but it will take a long time. So black played bishop e6. Now this is a very nice positional decision. Now if we try to evaluate the position, black's g7 bishop is excellently placed, and knight on c6 can be improved to some better squares like c4. So these two pieces we want on the board. But what about this bishop? Okay, it is doing some job, but white is trying to play against it. So black plays bishop e6 with the idea to exchange this bishop, which was not doing that great, for the active knight on d5. And when this exchange happens, both these bishops are kind of out of the game. I mean, they are not doing which is helpful for white. So white played king g1 and b4. So black is trying to create some weaknesses on the queen side, trying to open up the queen side. And when white recaptured, then black took on d5. So queen takes d5, pawn takes d5 is not great. It again stops this bishop from controlling the whole diagonal. It restricts the bishop, and knight can move on e5, which is excellent square. So queen into d5 and knight into b4, queen d2, rook b8. So black activated his rook, and now b2 pawn is under pressure. Rook c1, and what is the drawback of rook c1? a2 pawn. So black played queen a6, attacking it 2 times. So this forces white to play the move a3, but after a3, b2 becomes more weak, and black simply moves his knight and the b2 pawn is attacked. So white plays here bishop f1 and black plays queen b7, again putting pressure on b2 pawn as well as the e4 pawn. After b4, black plays knight d4 with a very dangerous threat of knight f3, forking the king and queen. So white defends against that threat with queen d3, and here comes the a5 move. Now taking will double the pawns and they become weaknesses, and black can easily take them back. So white played bishop e3. So again the bishop on g5 was not doing anything, so white wanted to extend that bishop. And if we see the position, white's position lacks coordination of pieces. So this is a major drawback in the white's position. So after bishop e3, black was able to give this knight f3 check, and after king g2, black improves the knight on e5 square. So now in this position, white moved back on b1, but he had a good move, that is queen d5. Now it was necessary to evaluate this position correctly, and if we evaluate this position correctly, we understand that exchange of queens is good for white side. So queen d5 was the important move, and after takes, suppose a into b4, white is not going to recapture back. He will play a4, because pawn on a4 also kinds of proves to be an asset for white. Because of double bishops, he can push and counter attack. And after b3, bishop b5 blocking the b file, b2, rook c2, and both the pawn and rook are attacked at the same time, and white can save himself in this game. But now we will see the difference with the queens on the board. So after queen b1, a into b4, again the same idea. White wants to play a4, b3, bishop b5 and b2. Now if we pay attention, the move rook c2, like in the last variation, is not possible because e4 is hanging. A very minute difference, and that's why white has to play rook c d1, and after knight c6, rook he1, rook e c8. Now b2 pawn is well supported, and it is like permanent source of tension. So white played rook e2, and now this bishop is giving trouble for black. So black wants to kick that bishop, and he plays knight a7. Bishop into a7, queen into a7, rook e c2 and rook c5. So the idea is very simple. We will double on this c file, rook d2 and rook b c8. h4, queen a8, e4 is under pressure. So this provokes the move f3, and the second rank becomes weak. Queen a5, rook e2, and finally rook into c2. So black manages to find an en route into the white's position. So after rook into c2, queen into c2, there comes queen e1, b1 queen is the threat, bishop d3 and bishop d4. And you can see the importance of that queen a8 move, which provoked the pawn to f3, and now threats are very dangerous, and white resigned in this position. So this was a very nice game from Indian prodigy Praggnanandha. Thanks for watching.